Okay, so one of the questions that I wanted to address is if we were to follow Charles Eisenstein's roadmap off of capitalism to the gift economy, um, the main question that people keep saying is there are certain jobs that people won't do if they're not compensated by money. For example, um, hard jobs like mining. People won't do mining if there's no monetary reward. Maybe some people that work in the sewage plant, people think people wouldn't do that if they weren't paid. So, what does it mean? It's mostly we, the ones who are, someone says naysayer. No, no, I don't want to go into naysaying. I don't want to go into that. I want to stay, how can it be done? In other words, they said that man can't fly. And the Wright brothers, who invented the airplane, proved that we can fly. So I want to stay, yes, it's possible. We can do it. We can do it. There's nothing that we can't solve. So, how are we going to address these questions about things people do that we think, I don't want to be a miner. The only reason people mine is because they get paid well. And people who work at sewage plants, they're paid well, and disgusting. Well, I mean, some people wouldn't do jobs that I've done. Like working in a nursing home and changing senior citizens with dementia, changing their diapers. Some people say, "No, I'm not going to do that." So, is that a key? Not so much. Some people might say, "Oh, come on." Some people would willingly do some of these jobs because they don't mind. No, it's not like that at all. What do you mean? Let's move on. Why do we need a lot of these people? Well, it's maintenance, really, because a lot of the stuff, well, in a sewage plant, it's an automated sewage plant, and what you have there are people who monitor the systems and do maintenance on mechanical pipes and valves and motors and things. So, what about that? Let's move along. Okay, now I've given you different things, but I didn't give you an answer. Why? Because it's not easy to tell you I ain't the one who's going to do a lot of these jobs. That's what everyone's going to do. Everyone is going to say, I ain't doing that job. And then the other thing people are going to say is, if everything is a gift economy, I know there's a hell of a lot of people that are going to sit at home or go to the bar and drink their beer and do it over and over and over again. So it ain't going to work because everyone's going to be drunk. Well, one of my friends says, yeah, I'm with that much. People are going to be drinking beer if it's a gift economy. If you got, okay, so how are we going to do this? It's your interest to discover what? Chevrolet said find new roads. You're avoiding answering the question. You're avoiding, and they're pointing at me. You're pointing at me. You're avoiding the question. If I was going to go way out on a limb, how would I describe how it's going to be done? People are going to do it because someone says, because they love one another, and I'm not afraid to go into the sewage plant and do some maintenance. So I got something to do this afternoon at the sewage plant, and I really don't mind. Someone says, I know, but it's still more fun for everyone going to Mexico to drink beer or something. I don't drink beer anymore. I used to drink beer, but I don't drink booze anymore. So, if this comes to play, I'm not going to go and drink beer at the bar. Well, that's fine. You had your many years of beer drinking, and the young people, they want to have many years of beer drinking before they get old like you, and they don't want to drink anymore. This is very difficult. Very difficult. What about high technology? Like all the suppressed technology that we keep hearing about, but no one can really prove it's real. Like free energy that secret military has got it, but they don't want to release it to us, primarily because the capitalists want to have a meter on our electricity and our gas because they want the money. We're not getting very far because these are the normal things that someone says right brain people are going to say, perhaps. What a left brain person going to say? Left brain doesn't talk so much as the right brain. It's someone says pictures, more pictures than words. I know we're not getting anywhere. Someone says take a pause and come back. No, I'm going to tell you the truth. It's in our users. Who are our users? We are our users. We're the ones that are using the new world that we're imagineering. Oh, the other one is if everything is a gift economy, everyone is going to go to a Caribbean island because they're just going to want to sit in the sun all winter. And there's not going to be enough room on those Caribbean islands for all the people on the planet to go. So it ain't going to work. See, it's so easy to keep coming up with monkey wrenches to throw into this idea. Someone says, it just goes on and on. The problems with a gift economy. It's mostly because we're used to things the way they are. We're so used to things the way they are that we can't change. The population of the world is too big to get them all on board onto a gift economy. There's too many people, and everyone knows you might get 10% that will agree to try it. You'll get 10% that are going to be throwing monkey wrenches at that other 10%, and the other 80% in the middle are going to ignore it and they're going to go to their Joe job and get paid money. Everyone is like stamping their feet and going, hurry up and tell us the answer. The answer is, oh, I know what you're going to say higher consciousness. You're always talking about higher consciousness. You're going to say meditation. I'm sorry, if I sit and meditate all day staring at my belly button, nothing is going to happen. I know because I've taken days off, drank beer, and stared at my belly button, and all I did was fall to sleep. We are not looking at human potential, people. There was, it's almost on the tip of my tongue, the guy who broke the 2-minute mile, running a mile in under 2 minutes. People said it can't be done, but he proved it. That was a long time ago. Currently, we have 60-year-old Wim Hof, the Dutchman, also known as the Iceman, the man that can do things that I don't want to try. You can look up Wim Hof, and the reason he's called the Iceman is that he's got an incredible ability to do things in icy conditions, swimming and running and cold, cold, cold. So, I mean, if you look at some of the humans who do extraordinary things, someone says it's just their genetics. They're just genetically lucky. To continue, if we look at people who are on the cutting edge of human capabilities, I know it's them. I know I was always the slow kid in school. All of this stuff is possible. These people are showing it's possible. And we have got everything I've shown you here is always, we can't do it. We can't do it. It's not possible. Not for me. It's negative attitudes. And that is a big hurdle for who? I don't know. He's probably got a positive attitude. After a few beers, he's probably willing to swing from a chandelier. I know, in the end, I haven't explained how we're really going to do it, other than saying it's. So, how do we start? Do we have to get everybody educated on gift economy and human potential before something is going to happen? I would say, why don't you start with yourself? How are you going to start with yourself? It's easy. You just live your life the way you're doing it now and watch for clues. What kind of clues? Well, someone says you'll know it when you hear it. Not necessarily. You kind of have to be, maybe not watching all the time, but you have to have kind of an idea that you're going to see signs. What kind of signs? Depending on where you are, it could be a billboard sign that your eyes just go and look at. It could be a license plate in the car ahead of you, or a sign painted on the side of a van ahead of you. It might be, you're standing in line at the drugstore and you overhear them talking about something. You're not being specific enough. I know, but there's a lot of you out there, and you're going to get different signs. So if I'm specific and I'm going to say you're going to see a garden gnome appear in your driveway tomorrow, it's too specific. The signs are going to be there. You are going to hear interesting things overheard. The timing of things are going to be such that you are going to get these signs. It's going to be timed. Why? Because they're already there. And you're just not picking up on them. How do I know? Because I see the signs all the time. But I am very aware of their signs the universe is giving me. And I'm looking for them and I see them. But if people don't even have a clue that the universe is giving them signs, it might be hard for them to see the signs. What kind of signs? Well, as I've said many times, if you go out, keep an eye on hats that people wear, t-shirts that they wear. If you're driving along and you see a alligator, maybe on a billboard, maybe not a live one, look up on your smartphone, what is the symbology of an alligator? If you see, like I saw 777 on a license plate this afternoon. So what I do? Well, I would look up what is the meaning of a 777, 777, and then usually I put angel number and it'll give you something. But there's also other symbologies, other ways to decode these messages. Gematria, there's gematria websites where You type in the word or the number and you'll get some information. As I said, look up the symbology. There's lots of websites, lots of informations. Could be that you hear some music and it's synchronized so that you're driving down the road. You hear something in the music, and at that moment you look and the billboard is the same word that the music in your car is playing. These are confidence building measures. So you don't have to take it from me that this is real. You go out and use your own experience to see experientially if what I'm saying is right. Coincidences are another word for synchronicities. But synchronicity, unlike coincidence, has a scientific reason for it. And there's a number of different things. It was originally Carl Jung, the psychologist, who coined the term synchronicity. But who's going to talk about synchronicity and a science perspective? You have to look it up. But David Bohm, the physicist, for example, the different physicists, they don't all go with it's just quantum physics or it's just string theory. There's lots of different explanations for the way things are, and they don't always agree, but I always say they're different maps to our reality. And if you spend some time looking at them, you're going to educate yourself. I don't want to educate myself. I want to hang at the bar and drink. Okay, well, let's assume that you do get some confirmations that synchronicity is real. Maybe you have some deja vus, and you say, I can't explain how deja vu works. I can't explain these coincidences. I can't explain this or that. Someone says, well, now you've got something to do. When you've got 5 minutes, you can look it up. Maybe some people don't want to look up all this stuff. They just want to say, okay, I get deja vus and I've seen some coincidences and, okay, but I don't want to do all of this reading of advanced physics and things. So what's the next step? The next step is still moment to moment. We're not going to go and make huge plans about how everything's going to change. So even when I talk about Charles Eisenstein's book, Sacred Economics, The Gift Economy, what he presents is a workable thing, but it's very right-brained because it's all it's the roadmap to get there. It's right brain. What do I mean by right brain? It means it's like a plan, it's like I'm going to execute this plan and I've got it all figured out. And what we're doing is we want to be more left brain, which is allowing things to happen, allowing things to happen organically rather than always being pre-planned. Because the less pre-planning we have, the more we allow synchronicity and serendipity into our lives. What's serendipity? It's like a fortunate event. So that's all I'm going to tell you about Eisenstein's book. It's for right-brained people. But the way that things are really going to play out is more left-brain. It just happened. I mean, you don't know when the synchronicity is going to happen. You don't really know when a deja vu is going to happen. It just happens. And it's like, it's not pre-planned. You don't know you're going to get a synchronicity in half an hour from now if you drive down Main Street and turn down Chicago Avenue. You don't know. You don't know when it's going to come. So that's why the right brain kind of thing, it's going to hang you up. You're going to you have to just let go, relax, rather than being like having my clipboard of all the things I need to check off in order to get a synchronicity. It doesn't work that way. It's more, maybe go down to the beer parlor, order yourself a beer, and see who's wanting to talk to you. Maybe it's just a drunk person, but maybe it's somebody who, you know, I don't know what they're going to talk to you about. But if you really feel the urge to go to the bar and have some beer, go to the bar, have a beer, see what happens. That's all I can tell you about it, because I'm really trying hard not to tell you very much about it at all. Because the more I tell you, the more you're looking for what I'm telling you rather than what your actual experience is. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe so that you can get more of my talks.